News Now is brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, Docomo Pacific, island-wide, worldwide, the choice is clear. From the Pacific News Center in Hagåtña, Guam, here's Clint Ridgett and Janella Carrera with Betsy Brown and Roselle Romanes. PNC Sports with Blake Watson and Weather with Rebecca Kim. With your news now.
Hafa-day and good evening. It's Thursday, December the 18th, and you're watching PNC's News Now. I'm Janella Carrera.
And I'm Clint Ridgett. Thanks for tuning in. Topping your news tonight, 3 months after $18,000 in cash was found stolen from the Department of Revenue and Taxation, and no persons have been found responsible. Could an employee be to blame? And if so, what action will be taken? PNC's Betsy Brown reports.
It's been 3 months now since money was discovered missing from a safe at the Department of Revenue and Taxation, and the investigation into the theft is still ongoing. Rev Tax Director John Camacho says the safe was found open when employees reported to work on Monday, September 15th, and without the $167,000 that had been inside, $18,000 of which was cash. Camacho would not say whether any employees are suspected, and he said that any disciplinary action would have to wait until the investigation is completed.
But we've taken measures to ensure that, proper procedures are taken moving forward. Okay. Until such time there's the investigation, it's been completed and there's recommendations, and moving forward, rest assured that the department will take action if any of these employees were involved in any of these events.
In the time since the funds went missing, Camacho says the department has changed its policies and procedures involving how cash is handled.
For example, we changed our locks. We want to try and basically change the combination of the safe every now and then. Every time the safe is open, there's 2 people there.
Camacho says Rev Tax is also working to have the Treasurer of Guam pick money up before the end of each day. And he says he hopes to install cameras in offices where money is handled. Any checks that were taken in the September theft have been canceled, according to Camacho. Betsy Brown, PNC News.
Meanwhile, Arthur Sango appeared in court this afternoon to face charges that he made death threats against Guam police. At one point, it appeared as though he wanted to make an explanation, asking to speak to the judge. Here's what happened.
Talk to your lawyer first, Mr. Sango. Thank you.
Faced with terrorizing charges for what police believe are serious death threats against them, Arthur Sango seemed to have wanted to explain himself to Magistrate Judge Alberto Tolentino, but that request was denied. Whatever it is Sango wanted to say at this point does not change the fact that he's now charged with 3 counts of terrorizing as third-degree felonies. Assistant Attorney General Terry Tenorio says this is not the first time Sango's been in trouble with the law. In the last 2 years, he's been arrested several times. The last arrest was made just this past August, in which he was charged with public drunkenness and rioting as a third-degree felony.
Based on the nature of this particular case, which is very similar to the case where he's on pretrial release for rioting, the people believe that that's insightful of violence and hate. And it's particularly disturbing in this case that it's addressed towards law enforcement officers. The people therefore believe that this defendant remains a risk to the community of Guam and all the victims, and therefore ask for $10,000 cash bail.
The court agrees with the government's assessment that due to the nature and seriousness of the alleged offenses, that the $10,000 cash bail is appropriate at this time.
In this current case, Sango is accused of commenting on a Facebook thread related to a video. The video shows officers responding to a fight at the Hemlani Apartments in Harmon. On the thread, numerous people accuse officers of using a taser on innocent people. Police say Sango, who goes by the name Lost Boy Trash on Facebook, made this comment. hey guys, just check their name tag and look for them when they're off from work and then kill them all if the government don't do nothing.
The court will appoint Attorney Randy Cunliffe to represent you in this case as well.
Sango's next court appearance is on December 26th at 4 p.m.
Kevin Nirairois, the man accused of sucker punching another man in a video that went viral, says he was simply protecting his cousin. Nirairois appeared in court today to face charges of aggravated assault as a third-degree felony. According to police, Nirairois was hanging out with his cousin and the victim, James Patrick Linden, at several bars in early November. Both Linden and Nirairois were intoxicated, police say, and as the two were headed up the stairs to another bar, Nirairois says Linden called his cousin out to fight. Quote, so he turned around and punched Linden on the face, the report states. Police say they received a copy of the video and were able to track.
Yes, Your Honor, based on the nature of the offense charged and likelihood of a lengthy sentence, the people request for a $5,000 cash bail.
The court is entitled to consider the nature and seriousness as well as the circumstances of the alleged offense. If you're convicted of a third-degree felony, you face a potential 3 years in jail and a $5,000 fine. The court agrees, therefore, with the government's recommendation of a $5,000 cash bail.
Nirairois has a preliminary hearing scheduled for December the 26th at 4 p.m.
The Guam Memorial Hospital has provided an update on the condition of two of their patients involved in Sunday's near drowning and the other in a motorcycle accident. The one-year-old baby girl who nearly drowned at the Fisheye Park is now out of the pediatric ICU. According to GMH PIO June Perez, the baby girl is alert, smiling and playing in her GMH room with family. As for the 33-year-old man who was involved in a motorcycle accident in Pneumatic, he has returned home to Japan last night in a critical condition via air ambulance.
And let's check in with PNC's Blake Watson, who's standing by to tell us what he's got going for sports today.
What happened to Blake Watson? I don't know. Who am I? You're going to find out real soon on PNC Sports Tonight.